Cody is in New York to start off this day, this hour. Hey, Cody, how are you?
Hi, Dave. It's great to be on the phone with you.
You too,
great
sir.
to finally meet you. I've been watching you for a little while now.
Well, thank you. How can we help?
So I had a question about, I recently put myself back a couple baby steps by going and getting myself a truck loan. But now a girlfriend of mine, of course, not married. So, I know roughly where I'm already at thinking, especially watching you. She wants me to finance a car for her. I was thinking if she comes up with a large down payment, I'm in pretty decent financial shape myself,
No, you're not.
So
You
I was
have a
thinking
truck
maybe
payment.
if she could No, I know. That's true. So I was thinking if I could go through, if I should finance the vehicle for her or not, because it's a really big deal to her. Obviously, she has a vehicle now, so in my eyes, she doesn't need one. I went and got it inspected for her, so I know it's good for at least another year. I'll get your take on it.
Cody, if you were to guess what we would say, what would your guess be?
Of course not. I mean, I have my own truck loan, and I'm
and here's what
putting
sucks, Cody.
$4,000 a month toward it to get it paid off. So,
I know. So here's the deal: is like it is number one, just taking on debt in general is a risk, and then number two, when you put your name on someone else's debt, that's a massive risk. And we have had
even more risk.
Yeah, just so many calls. Okay, so do you want us to help give you a good argument to give to your girlfriend? Is this part of why you called?
Yeah, that would be great. I've went over the points of, interest rates are higher right now. I have my own, I've had the conversation with her, like, can you wait until I get my truck paid off? I'm expecting to get my truck paid off. I financed 33,400 for it. I've made literally
Cody,
2 payments on it.
Cody,
and I already
what
got
do you make?
I make about a $120 a year.
What does she make?
She's making about $800 a week. You can bring home.
Okay, and how long y'all been dating?
Yeah, like 4 months.
Okay. And how old are you two?
I just turned 30, and she just turned 19.
Okay. You just described a sugar daddy.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Yeah, she doesn't make any money. She's 19 years old, and she wants you to go buy her a truck.
No, a car probably.
Or a car,
I don't think she's
or
going to be
whatever.
driving a truck. Yeah.
Rachel, you're going to crawl out from under the desk now. The
car.
Yeah. So you make a lot of money. She didn't make any. So, number one, I don't know that there's an explanation for her that's going to satisfy her. Okay?
Yeah.
Because she's not going to be loving a no of any kind, no matter how logical or sweet or well crafted. Okay? So let's just be prepared for the fact that she ain't going to like this. Okay? Number two, if you were my son, who is just a tiny bit older than you, I would knock a noggin on your head if you did this, because a lot of reasons. Number one, what Rachel said, you're going to get yourself in a mess. Number two, of course, we teach you not to borrow money. Of course, we're not going to teach you to borrow money for yourself even after you finally get your truck paid off, because it was a mistake to go in debt for the truck in the first place. We're going to stop doing debt so that you can become wealthy making $120,000 a year. Okay? So we're going to take debt off the table. We're just going to take down. There's no explanation for it, Cody. We're taking debt off the table. You called us. You knew what we were going to say. So, but here's the biggest problem, all right? Relationally, this feels like it's going to be a strain if you don't do it. And I will tell you from having coached folks for 30 years that if you do this, you're going to put a bigger strain on the relationship, because you're changing the tone, the flavor of the relationship from two independent adults seeking a high quality connection to now one is dependent upon the other.
Right.
And it changes dinner.
Meaning her being dependent on me?
Yeah. Yeah, because and now you're somewhat dependent upon her, because if she doesn't pay the payment, making $800 a week, shock, then you're going to end up having to pay the payments, shock, okay? And then there's going to be another strain on the relationship. And so you're going to do damage to whatever the quality of this relationship is. It's going to get worse if you do this.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest reason not to do it. The second biggest reason not to do it is there is no scenario that turns out positive out of this. All the scenarios are negative.
And I think too, Cody, I would be curious on the relational side, how she takes the no. Probably reveals a lot about her, right? And the kind of person you want to be in a relationship with.
What she's really doing here. Yeah.
You know, but if she's willing to learn and she's like, okay, so why won't you co-sign? You're like, well, because of this and this and this, and I want to get out of debt. I want to do, you know what I mean? And you may teach her something new, which is great. You know, I'm not saying she's like a bad person, but y'all's value systems might be very, very different. And then the other thing that would happen too, if you co-sign and she loses a job, or she suddenly decides, oh, I'm going to go on a fun girls trip and spend money, and oh shoot, I just can't make my car payment this month. And you're thinking, you just went on a girls trip and you're not going to pay your payment, and now I'm stuck with, like, you're going to start analyzing everything that she buys and purchases. And so, like, it just, the whole thing, it's just is so, it's very messy. So
let's be real clear. It won't be co-signing, because there's no bank in the world going to sign her up for anything.
No, that's probably
she's living below the poverty level. So you're going to own a car with a car payment, and then you're going to have to go pick up your car from your ex-girlfriend when you break up. This is going to be awkward.
And then you're going to feel terrible if you broke up with her one day, and then you have to go and be like, I need my car back. She's like, I don't have a car. How am I going to get to work? And now you're dependent. You're stuck. I mean, it's just, no good plan. But Cody, I appreciate you calling.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah. I sympathize with where you are, and you're a nice guy trying to think about this.
Yes, yes.
You did call the people who tell people not to borrow money so that they can become wealthy and outrageously generous and ask to borrow money, period. Bad idea. Number two, doing that with people or for people that you're not married to, bad idea. Number three, when the person you're doing it for is completely broke and makes no money, super bad idea. So let's just keep adding on to this. This is The Ramsey Show.